clawing out of the Sarlacc's belly, Boba Fett is going to join Mandalorian Season 2, a rescue of the son of Jabba the Hutt.
And I also think Boba Fett and Mando will have a bit of a bond over the fact that neither one of them were truly Mandalorian blood.
Boba started to regain consciousness and with his last remaining slivers of life, grabbed a piece of his melting armor and slashed his way out of the Sarlacc's belly.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. This is Rogue Theory, and guys, Mandalorian Season 2 is like the only Star Wars news we've got in a long time, but that's okay, because Mandalorian is probably the thing we've been the most excited about in the Star Wars universe for a while now. It's still locked in for October, so theoretically we're going to have something to look forward to after all this. And the big news is that Boba Fett is going to be on the show. That's the thing that we all thought The Mandalorian was initially going to be about, was the return of Boba Fett. Turns out Season 2 is about that. Also, Bo-Katan's joining, and Ahsoka, and there's all kinds of stuff. We're going to get really into it. But I'm Filup Molina. I don't even know my own name, apparently. But who cares? Because Erik Voss is here, but also because the real rejects are here, guys.
Woo! We made it! We made it to New Rockstars.
Senpai noticed us.
So happy.
Oh, man. So these guys, if you don't know, this is John Humphrey and Greg Alba. If you guys can clarify for the audience which of you is which.
John Humphrey.
Greg Alba. Not Greg Alba, John Humphrey. Yeah.
Whoa, wait?
Okay. I mean, yeah. Erik Voss. There you go. Yeah. We're all Erik Voss in a gross way. Yeah. So if you guys can real quick just shout out what you do on your channel in case people don't know what your deal is.
We do reactions, but we also like to provide as much commentary as possible to the point where even if the reaction wasn't there, you'd still get a full-on video as well. Reviews, sketches once in a while too. But yeah, I've been a big fan of New Rockstars for a very long time. The second Erik came on screen while we were prepping for this, my heart sunk for a little bit and I felt my personality shoot out the window. And I was like, regain yourself, Greg. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, that's a special power that he has to steal your soul. Guys, on this episode, we're also going to be talking about this dark, so gritty Batman movie that we've never had a gritty Batman, or wait, maybe we have.
They're all grit.
Yeah. The last one, I think, murdered a baby or something. The last one was so intense. But what I do like about it is that there's an Alfred angle to this whole Batman grit that we're going to get into. But first, Boba Fett in Mandalorian Season 2. There's a lot to cover here. I'm actually going to recap it for us. Normally, we kind of jump right into it. But in case you've been out of the loop on Star Wars news, I'm just going to read off here what all the new stuff we've learned recently. So Boba Fett is going to return, played by Tamora Morrison, who played the father, Jango Fett, and has voiced Boba Fett in other Star Wars things. We got hints that Boba Fett could have been the mystery figure that was at the end of that Episode 5 moment in the first season, where you hear the spurs and, people were like, oh, could that be Boba? Maybe it actually was. We also just learned that Bo-Katan from the animated series Clone Wars and Rebels is also going to be joining. She's going to be played by Katie Sackhoff, who I'm nuts about. If you watch Battlestar Galactica, I've just been sitting on my hands waiting for her to get a role in something else. I started to think that she only existed in Battlestar Galactica. She is such a badass. I'm super excited for her. She's the Mandalorian that we saw wielding the Darksaber before Moff Gideon showed up in the Season 1 finale.
Yeah.
And then just a reminder that freaking Rosario Dawson, Cory Booker's girlfriend, is going to be playing live-action Ahsoka Tano, the central figure of Clone Wars and the recent final season. She's the ex-Jedi who helped Bo-Katan liberate Mandalore from Maul. Okay, we're all caught up. Everybody's on the same page. We know who Cory Booker's dating for some reason. Now I want you guys to pitch me. Here it comes. Real Rejects, are you ready? Erik Voss, are you ready? How are these characters going to play into The Mandalorian Season 2? How did Boba Fett survive the Sarlacc? How will Bo-Katan and Ahsoka tie in?
I'll go first, if that's okay. Greg, John, yes?
Yes, Senpai.
Oh, yeah, please.
All right.
Erik has never been happier, by the way. He's so tickled right now.
No, it's just it's nice to have like-minded. We always have friends and family, I think, on the show, but we have other guys that I see reflected in Filup and me. It's some like-minded, super funny, super smart nerds who just get it the way we get it. So I love
the white guy and the ethnic
the
guy.
Brown guy. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say that. I didn't apply color to it. Oh boy. Okay, so we know.
All right, let the privilege speak.
Okay, so we
adding to
last saw Boba Fett going into the belly of the Sarlacc, yeah? So he's got to get out of that thing. I think clawing out of the Sarlacc's belly, Boba Fett is going to join Mandalorian Season 2, and he's going to join forces with Ahsoka Tano in a way that brings her back to her first mission with Anakin Skywalker, a rescue of the son of Jabba the Hutt. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. So
Little baby Jabba.
Little baby Jabba. Little baby Jabba. I believe that the way Boba Fett's going to get out of that Sarlacc is he's going to use the tooth of the Rancor. Maybe they fed that Rancor monster to the Sarlacc to get his digestive juices flowing. He finds the tooth in there and claws out of the stomach.
Nice.
Like, so he's got a tooth and he like rides it down the intestines.
No, he finds a tooth in the intestines. We're going to start the season in the belly.
Inside the belly of the beast.
Yeah. He's going to claw his way out of it. Mandalorian Gauntlet, like Patton Oswalt said, claws his way out of the pit. Right. And then he finds himself in the wreckage of Jabba's pleasure skiff. Everyone's dead, but there is one survivor, Jabba's teenage son, Rota the Hutt, a.k.a. Stinky, from the Clone Wars animated film. The first mission that Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker went on together to rescue this young Hutt. So, in order to endear himself to the Hutt gang members, the whole family of Hutts, he takes on this mentorship role to this Hutt. He becomes a bodyguard to him. And then over the next couple years, he becomes a bodyguard. Meanwhile, we have the events of Ahsoka Tano and Bo-Katan from Rebels, who are now going to be joining the Mandalorian. And the reason why is Bo-Katan is looking for the Darksaber. It was stolen from her by Moff Gideon, and now she wants it back. So they're joining the Mandalorian group with Baby Yoda, and Ahsoka Tano tells Mandalorian all about this. He's related to this other famous Jedi. He gives them the whole backstory. So what we find out is that the reason Fennec Shand had a hit on her in episode 5 of the first season is that Fennec Shand tried to kidnap and was successful at kidnapping this young Rota the Hutt, Stinky. And only she knew the location of where this Hutt was. That's why Boba Fett is going to try to find her body. He's going to try to sniff out some clues of where this young Hutt is. And he goes and he hooks up with Ahsoka Tano because she was the Jedi who was able to find him before. Maybe she can help find him again. And she's able to track down this Rota the Hutt. But we find out that the hit was planned because Rota the Hutt's a little stinker. He was trying to sell off all the moisture farms to a third party, and he deserves to die. And in the end, Boba Fett plugs one in this young Hutt. And then Mando feels like, oh, maybe this young child who I'm training will turn into a monster the way this Mandalorian armor child turned into a monster, and he begins to doubt the intentions of young Baby Yoda.
You vaguely just right at the end there implied it ends with Mando having a little gun to little Baby Yoda's head, I might have to do it.
Yeah, that's what he's wondering at the end of this arc. Is he's like, what will become of this thing? What was just because something's cute as an infant doesn't mean it's going to stay cute its whole life, especially if it has powers. This thing tried to choke Cara Dune. That's going to lead to some kind of suspicion.
All right,
yeah.
You heard it here first. Erik Voss wants Baby Yoda dead. We'll pay any cost, any amount of credits. Yeah,
just to be right. Just to be right.
I believe you, Erik.
Erik, I'm going to give you, right now you've earned one Rogie.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to hand that to you.
Oh.
Tell me what it turned into.
And it's going to turn into a purple Sparkle Buck.
Wow. You only have the opportunity to gain any more if you explain, really, what the hell is Mando doing the whole rest of the show? He just is, watching all this stuff, and then at the end, he's like, I might need to kill the baby.
No. Mando, as I said, once he meets Ahsoka Tano, he starts to learn the history. His whole journey is to try to get Baby Yoda back to his home planet, his home species. And Ahsoka Tano is the first one to identify, hey, there was this other famous Jedi guru who is the same race as this thing. We don't know too much about it. There was an episode of Rebels where you could see what looked like a Yoda species on a cave wall. And maybe Bo-Katan will be able to shed some light on that. But that's going to be like the mystery that they're following. Is they're going to try to find out Baby Yoda's home species. But this Boba Fett story will be like a side trip that that teaches Mando to be more suspicious of this thing he's trying to protect.
I needed it to end in Boba and Mando fighting each other with Baby Yoda's head in the middle of two guns.
Okay, just give yourself the Rogie then.
No, it's just a tip for the people who still have to go. I need to see Boba and I was gonna say Boba and John fight each other.
I'm down.
Boba
Let's
and
do it.
Mando fight each other. Yeah. Erik, you get plenty of Rogies all the time. You're
Sure.
gonna be fine.
Fair.
All right, who wants to go next? Greg or John?
I can go first. All right, so Mando, what he'll do is he'll return to Tatooine, where he'll reunite with Peli Motto. I think that's how you say her name. Peli Motto, played by, what's her name?
Amy Sedaris.
There you go. John loves
Ooh.
her.
The
Right,
only help
that's
you're
right.
getting from me.
And this is when we first meet
it's a
up.
competition.
This is what it's like off camera all the time. This is when we first meet up with Boba Fett, and he'll be without his armor, and he'll have like this sense of shame, kind of think like a little bit of like a Logan-esque kind of character. And because supposedly at the end of the episode of Gunslinger that we were talking about earlier, he approaches Fennec Shand's unconscious body, and there'll be a tie-in to the famous Boba Fett quote, "He's no good to me dead," revealing Fennec Shand's character is still alive and Boba turned her in for a reward. However, I think Boba will have gotten rid of his armor and live a life of shame. Well, I mean, like, why else would this guy remain on Tatooine of all places, right? So he's had a rough life, okay? He saw his father beheaded, he failed to avenge him, and he was taken out by a blind Han Solo, embarrassingly knocked into the Sarlacc pit. Now, how he escaped, I think Dave Filoni will more than likely, like how he's done in the past, pull from the Legend storyline. Granted, I know it's not canon, but I know he takes a lot of inspiration from there. But I don't think he'll do like the whole psychic connection thing. I think it'll just be something simple, like the Sarlacc acid will come into play that triggers his jetpack that bursts him out, and he'll redo that scream that happened in Return of the Jedi when he went in. And he'll just do the same exact scream again, bursting back out. Yeah. And I think his encounter with the Mandalorian will be twofold, essentially. One will be a storyline that ties into the possible history of Baby Yoda. There's been a lot of clues and brief cloning discussion in the Mandalorian series. The scientists in Werner Herzog's team, as we know, wore the Camino patch from Attack of the Clones. And so this will take them back to the roots of the initial science experiments on Baby Yoda, the Navarro planet. And Mando, he'll convince Boba Fett to come with him to Navarro in search of the answers that Boba might be able to help him out with, considering the clone army stems from Boba's dad. He's a clone himself. And so Mando, when he's back at Navarro, they'll come into contact with Paz Vila from the tribe, who is already with Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano. And Bo-Katan came here, similar to Erik's, upon hearing about the conflict with Moff Gideon. And in my version, she lost a battle to Moff Gideon, and that's how he got the Darksaber, and wanted her to live with a sense of shame. So, but she seeks to make things right, because, you know, he's knowing that he's causing all this chaos. And then we also learned that Ahsoka is personally helping, because when we last saw her, she was setting out on a new journey with Sabine Wren in Rebels. And we'll learn here that Sabine was actually killed by Moff Gideon. But maybe it's like a supposedly ambiguous thing. But I think this could be a good driving force for Ahsoka Tano, because this can take a turn in the series where it sets up Moff Gideon to be more of like a centralized bad guy character for the second season, because he didn't come in till like the last 2 episodes of the first season. So in this one, we can have it be more of a focus of he's, you know, whatever Darth Vader role played in the original trilogy, he's like the central villain now because everyone's after him. And it could also give Ahsoka a turn where she's tempted by the dark side, because now she's on a pure vengeance quest. And Boba Fett, I think there'll be a cool part where we'll have like a moral conflict of turning Baby Yoda in for a reward, but ultimately he'll decide against it. He'll choose to do the right thing, tying it back into the themes of morals, code, and customs. And I also think Boba Fett and Mando will have a bit of a bond over the fact that neither one of them were truly Mandalorian blood, yet they're major representations of them. And in the end, I think Mando will unite with the other Mandalorians we saw in the series and bring Boba Fett with him. And in episode 3 of Mandalorian Season 1, Mando was refusing a signet that was being offered to him for killing the Mudhorn. Yeah. And I think with Boba Fett's crazy story of surviving and ultimately killing the Sarlacc pit upon escape, he will be given a signet and semi-adopted in or accepted into the Mandalore officially. And his armor will be restored as well.
I love that.
Or they'll just go to the cantina and they'll see him drinking blue milk, and it's just a quick cameo.
Go yourself. But yeah, very Logan-esque. Or that just seems like I'm just upset with you, Greg. Here's why I really like it. What you rooted into Gideon being kind of like the Vader, where somebody was wronged by him in the past. There's a vengeance tale there. And that suddenly took this character that was so threatening and so fascinating right away and gives him at least personal link to somebody who's going to be important on the show. Because right now, Mando kind of has like a little bit like, yeah, this guy I kind of now don't like, but it wasn't like my life's goal to get back at this guy. So bringing in another character, and that really is like, this is the one person who I'm going to go down fighting. Is probably a great way to really wreak as much emotion and like tension out of him continuing to be the villain. So for that,
oh my God, I'm so relieved to hear you say all those nice things. Oh.
Okay, here you go. Here's one.
Oh, and I will get this contact fluid for my
Whoa!
my eyes are always red and looking like I smoked beforehand, when really it's just my contacts drying out. So this is really going to come in handy.
No one's buying it. No one's buying it. Here's a second one. This pipe that I need for my throat.
I'm gonna take this multi-purpose duster so that way the Zoom meeting can still resume normally and clear off the computer.
What do you have, an Office Depot just right out of reach of like a Walgreens?
If you could just get us like a mug of pens, that would be nice.
You guys just need supplies. All right, I love it. I think that there's really strong motivation there, exciting. I still would love to see a clash between Mando and Boba, but actually you have a solid point of making they're both outsiders and finding a bond there. John, give me the 2 guns to Baby Yoda's head.
And make sure to include the thing. Yeah, make sure to include that in. Even if it doesn't work, just throw it in there somewhere.
Give him one shot. Opening shot, we zoom out on Baby Yoda, guns all around. Yeah, it's a bottle episode.
Philup's there, Eric's there.
Yeah. No, it's just a bunch of clones of Erik. It's the new clone army.
That's how New Rockstars works.
That was my theory all along. All right. Get ready, you guys, because this episode of The Mandalorian is going to knock your socks off. Okay?
You're only going to do one episode of The Mandalorian?
This is shaping up to be a 2-parter, okay?
Okay,
but I digress. We open on the desert, pitch black. It's dead of night, except for the blue light that the 3 moons shine on Tatooine, and we pan down, we see the sand, it's all tranquil, and a little space creature scurries by, and the sand starts to give way. Out shoots a hand with a decaying glove on it. Jump cuts, someone's climbing out, shedding sliver after sliver of twisted metal. Finally, standing, butt naked under the moonlight, a figure. He drops his helmet to the ground, and we see a familiar antenna. Title card smash, The Mandalorian Season 2. All right, so then,
That's
correct. Yes, it's a close up.
To be clear,
Zooms in on his Sarlacc pit, and then it blows up.
Boba Fett.
But like so mysterious, like silhouette appears by moonlight.
Yeah.
Clear, full frontal. That's definitely Boba Dick.
I appreciate
it.
your enthusiasm already for my theory.
Yeah.
It's like the T-800.
Well, that was part 1 of the episode.
That was just the prologue.
That's just Boba
The
showing
prologue
up.
is just, who is this guy?
the cold open.
But anyway, the episode continues and we cut back to the present. Baby Yoda and Mando, they're in their ship, but
Butt
things
naked.
are going wrong. They're butt naked after a shower.
Does he stay naked the whole time?
Well, I mean, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but this take on Boba Fett does have a symbolic nudity element because he is often wrapped in that cape that people say is too long for him to be Boba Fett. Well, maybe Boba Fett, living out in the deserts of Tatooine, has adopted a robe to keep him safe from the sandstorms and whatnot. However, anyway, present day.
Interested.
Din Djarin and Baby Yoda are evading. They're caught in some kind of dog fight. Someone's pursuing them, so they have no choice but to take a little bit of refuge back on Tatooine, one of the last places they want to get to. Meanwhile, we cut back to Fennec Shand's Star Wars names. We cut back to Fennec Shand's unconscious body coming to as the figure, now wearing that cloak, picks her up. Then she comes to in his little desert hovel. And this is where we first meet. We don't know who this guy is yet, but we're fans, we're getting a sense. So we establish here that Fennec and him, they have a little bit of, connective tissue in their past. Fennec is a little dazed, and this guy, whoever he is batshit crazy, all right? He's not all there because, and we will learn this later, but I'm gonna get to it now because it's a part of the question. How did he escape from the Sarlacc pit? Well, I'll tell you. He was in there unconscious for a long time. Acid burning through his armor. And finally, coming to because of the telepathy inside of the Sarlacc, Boba started to regain consciousness and with his last remaining slivers of life, grabbed a piece of his melting armor and slashed his way out of the Sarlacc's belly. No special, sacrificial teeth or anything like that, just a piece of his own armor. And
Erik.
Yeah, Erik.
There's a real competition now.
My chance to stick it to you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, but hold on. Couldn't the acid touch the jetpack and make it shoot off too?
That gets him part of the way, but that's not going to do it all right?
That's what I got covered.
It crashes him up through the Sarlacc's heart, which he then, has to gore his way out of and climb up his throat to get out.
Butt naked.
Eventually climbs out of its mouth, and then, falls back into the sand because, But anyway, so that's part of how this all happened was, the telepathic link brought him back to consciousness, and then he gored his way out and was left reeling from the experience, both physically traumatized, mentally traumatized, images from his past life, from the future, from all sorts of things, of the other Mandalorians, perhaps. We don't know yet. Cut back to the hovel. Yes.
I'm gonna give you a challenge. You are killing it. I would pay money for this. I think it's so epic already. But also, I think we're about as far into your theory as everybody else's. And I know there's a homeless man in a tent who has been naked.
Speed this thing up.
So
I get you. Speed it up.
So I'm just curious if he goes anywhere else.
Okay, so as Fennec and Boba, unknown Boba, are getting situated, there's a knock on their little hovel door. Somebody shows up because this is the Hateful Eight episode of the season. This is going to be a bottle. We're going to get a few people here. And so we have this traveler character who doesn't really have any business with Fennec, but she's on pursuit of a rogue Mandalorian who obviously the dead speak. Word travels through the galaxy. She's on the hunt for a rogue Mandalorian and the dark saber. That's how Bo-Katan gets involved with this. And then Mando and Baby Yoda out in the deserts, they're wandering around. Finally, they come across the hovel and they're let in. And so it's just the 5 of them right now. Unknown Boba, Fennec, Mando and Baby Yoda, and Bo-Katan, and they're all in there.
A perfect Hateful Eight.
Yes, and because of this is going to be the episode where we dive into the Mandalorian culture even further, because we have 3 steps. We have an authentic Mandalorian, a raised Mandalorian, and by all accounts, a Mandalorian who is only really a Mandalorian in image. Dave Filoni has talked about George Lucas being like, nope, he's not an actual Mandalorian. And so that's going to play into the belonging, the culture, the aspects of their religion and whatnot, because, again, you have 3 levels of authenticity to deal with, putting them all at odds with each other. Right. However, they've all been crossed by the Empire, and we're able to, through this, establish that Mando is not the one who took the lightsaber, even though those stories meshed closely together. And so, in this little bottle episode here, we have everybody at first, maybe there's some fighting, some scuffling with the Mandalorians, figure out their junk, but then, to cap off the episode, one more figure shows up out of the sandstorm. Who is it? It's Ahsoka Tano, who's been tracking Mando and Baby Yoda because she senses that a very powerful, very special Force user is somewhere out there in need of training. And she is here to do that. And it's at this point, I mean, we're going to cap the episode off with that. She's going to get there and everyone's going to be like, whoa, crazy, it's Ahsoka Tano for the first time.
It's Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Cory Booker's girl.
Yeah, we heard about that.
The next episode, we're going to learn about her and Bo-Katan, them, you know, in this joint venture together and how that figures in. And that's going to go down a whole other road that's going to lead us to Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Man.
We did it. We did it.
And Boba Fett,
Bravo.
he's able to redeem himself, and they're both able to become full Mandalorians. It's great.
He gets some clothes.
He gets some clothes on, eventually.
Not important. Not important. You can put a jetpack on a bare naked ass. It'll probably burn you, but okay. So, and to be clear, at no point is Baby Yoda between two pistols.
He's between two
Just make it work.
scantily clad men.
So yes, between
So
two
yes,
pistols.
two pistols. Yeah.
All right.
Because
and
Mando
that-
takes off everything except his helmet, and then Boba's naked.
10 rogues.
3 rogies.
Oh my god!
Oh,
It's not often. 1, 2.
Oh, really? So
And
many
3.
of my favorite characters. Wow.
You did a lot of the things that I love for people to do. You made us feel like we were watching it. You went rogue. You didn't skimp on the X-rated nature that we know Disney Plus has got to do.
More frontal nudity of men in The Mandalorian. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, normalize the dong.
Put the
Saying
man
it.
in the Mando.
Mandong. You could do this all day.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian's his name. Okay, great. I love it. Guys, I want most of all of yours to happen. I want all 3 of yours solutions for how he escapes the Sarlacc pit. But let's just hear them back in the form of a tweet. Remind us each of your theories, the order you went. And editors, if we can put Erik inside of the belly so that we remember that element of his story.
All right, I'll keep mine real simple. Boba, Jabba, Bo-Katan, yada yada.
One more time, a little faster.
Boba, Jabba, Bo-Katan, yada yada.
I mean, we all have to keep doing this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm imagining Pumbaa for some reason singing this. All right, Greg, what do you got?
Boba might become a real Mandalore? Easter eggs and breakdowns. New Rockstars.
That's the title of our
Hashtag
Do we-
new Rockstars.
Yeah.
You know, it's always the confidence that people in our profession nail. And John, what do you got?
Rebirth. It's a bottle episode. Cheeks. Dongs. Ideology. Mandalorians.
I'm glad at some point you mentioned what show you were even talking about.
Should this tweet actually sum up the story?
Is this
or
gonna
am
be
I
a
just
real
doing
tweet?
headline?
I thought we were just messing around.
You know what? It used to be summarize your theory, but Erik, Tommy, Twitter, it's all.
We've
gone to
moved
shit.
on.
It evolved in the worst way, like man.
One thing
all right,
Zach left out of the outline.
All right, before we move on, thanks so much to ExpressVPN for helping us out with making this show possible at all. So a bunch of us are stuck at home right now. Are you guys roommates?
Yeah, sure.
Always.
Okay. So, guys, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is that you need your internet privacy, especially if you and your roommate share a computer, which it looks like you guys do right now. And using incognito mode actually does not hide everything because did you guys know your ISP can still see every site you visit with whether or not you're using incognito mode?
I do now.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that information.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What can we do to
Exactly.
stop this, Philip?
You gotta use ExpressVPN. You use it anytime you go online. ExpressVPN makes sure your ISP cannot see where you're going. It reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers. And there's thousands of people on there. So because everyone's anonymous, they can't tell who's looking at what. They can tell some people are like funky, but that's it. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your data with the best-in-class encryption, and your information's all protected. And it works on every device that you use for internet, computers, tablets, smartphones. You just tap a button and you're protected. It's also the fastest and most trusted VPN on the market, and rated #1 by CNET and Wired. And obviously those people are experts on this kind of stuff. So guys, protect your online activity today with a VPN that we trust for our secure privacy. Visit expressvpn.com/rogue. This is a PSA every week. I remind people rogue is spelled R-O-G-U-E, not R-O-U-G-E. That's rouge.
Rouge one.
Which is a beautiful color. Yeah. But no, it's expressvpn.com/rogue, R-O-G-U-E. And you get 3 months free
awesome.
on a 1-year package
Awesome.
if you do that. That's expressvpn.com/rogue, expressvpn.com/rogue to learn more. Guys, it's time to talk about the Discord rogue theory of the week. All right. So this is where we get to dive into our fans' theories. And these people are such great experts that sometimes their theories are a little better than ours. And so we decided to start highlighting them based on the game that we play in Discord of Rogue Theory. So this week we had 3 selected patrons pitch the Star Wars plot that they would like to see Taika Waititi direct. So this was a topic of last week's Rogue Theory, but now we want to know just better ideas than the ones we had. Syndro and Ironheart, both really solid theories, but this week's winner is Son of Thunder. Give it up for Son of Thunder. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So this is, again, Taika Waititi would be directing this movie.
Gotcha.
This would be an extension of Mandalorian Season 2, becomes a movie where Ahsoka Tano is taking Baby Yoda to get Jedi training, which is very similar to your theory. But it takes place on Endor. And the coolest thing about this theory is that when stormtroopers come in to attack again, the Ewoks are so primed and ready now for a fight. They destroy the stormtroopers. Nice. There's a moment in their theory where it just cuts to Ewoks just eating stormtroopers.
Yes, I need that.
Tearing their guts apart. What do you guys think of Ahsoka taking Baby Yoda to Endor and Ewoks eating stormtroopers?
I think it's good Ewok redemption right there. I feel like the Ewoks have been getting a lot more love as of late, and I think this is a great way to showcase.
Honestly,
what do you mean as of late? Oh, because they were in Rise of Skywalker?
No, I just hear a lot of people on the internet, a lot of YouTube channels will start talking about, I grew up on the Ewoks. And I think the Ewoks are something that people, there was that Ewok, what was that movie that came out a few years ago? It was a straight-to-video movie or something.
Yeah, there was a little Ewok.
Jab Ewokis?
I see a lot of people talking about that a lot more now. And I think, and I feel like this would be a great, because I think taking Taika to do something where you kind of give a revamp of a character or, characters, I think Taika would be the best one to do something like that. And I feel like giving a great positive light to them would be awesome.
Yeah, couldn't you see a stormtrooper going I don't know, they're kind of cute. I don't want to shoot them. Aren't you cute? And then the Ewok bites his fingers off.
Yeah, I love giving more of that story because at the end of Return of the Jedi, they're drumming on this stormtrooper helmet. So they did something with those.
And one of their head falls out and rolls away.
I want to see a Jon Favreau chef movie, but with the Ewoks serving up the meat of stormtroopers different ways. You can grill it this way. I want a nice ASMR-y GIF video of just how you slice up a stormtrooper's rib meat
ASMR
and grill it on.
And I also think, with Taika Waititi's What We Do in the Shadows, he's also a horror comedy kind of guy too. So I think getting some of that in there with Ewoks showing their more savage side, that'd be pretty cool.
Honestly, I just cut out Ahsoka and Baby Yoda and make it a stormtrooper Ewok horror.
Yeah, just that.
Zombies, they're all around, they're eating them up. It's terrifying.
And delicious. Give it up to Son of Thunder again for winning this week's Discord Rogue Theory. Clearly, we got really excited about it. Guys, it's time to talk about so dark Batman. No Batman has ever been so dark. Okay, so
we live in a society.
How dare you? So the one thing that actually is really interesting about this, because we've heard that before, right? We need a dark take of Batman, and we've seen dark takes. But Andy Serkis did an interview this week where he talked about directing Venom 2 and then playing Alfred in the upcoming The Batman. And he said something that made my little cowl ears perk up. That not only that this is going to be the darkest Batman movie ever, but that it's actually really about the connection between Alfred and Bruce.
Right.
This is going to be an Alfred and Bruce story, and it's going to be really dark. So I want you guys to pitch me the darkest Batman and Alfred story you can think of.
All right, guys, get ready. Because in my version, Bruce doesn't want to get there. Bruce is a sensitive child, and he's not having an easy time coping with the death of his parents. Or he didn't, because we're not going to start there. Matthew Reeves wants to deal with the effects of the origin. And the effects are, I mean, he's left alone with Alfred, and he's got to face the world. And Alfred, he's an ex-military guy. He's got the charisma. He's an actor, too, but he's also tough, and he's also about getting into that character. So what does he do? He molds Bruce's life from the time he's a young boy. All they do is spar, read about the art of war, and he basically trains Bruce as his own protege. And I mean, they're talking back and forth sparring, no gloves, no protection, all Fight Club. And pretty much it's going to be an abusive surrogate father-son relationship where he's pushing him into the family business.
Oh, damn.
So it's kind of like Liam Neeson in Batman Begins.
Exactly.
Version of kind of like
Martha
a mentor that abuses him.
Yeah, Martha and Thomas, they wouldn't have wanted this.
Yeah.
And Bruce probably wouldn't have fallen into it had it not been for Alfred.
No Ra's al Ghul.
It's like, imagine Whiplash, but with fighting.
Exactly.
Not my tempo! Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. You already get a Rogi.
Yeah!
Boom.
Woo!
A single Rogi.
Thanks.
I can. Yeah. Creepy. You got a lot of dolls just right
I grabbed everything out of my car today.
And Greg only has office supplies.
Yeah. I only need essentials right now.
Speaking of Greg, why don't you go?
All right. My version would take place where Batman has pretty much locked away most of his criminals. A lot of them are in Arkham Asylum. And Alfred's whole goal this entire time has been making sure that Bruce does not cross over to the darkest depths of his personality within Batman. He's already at this point where he's like, he helps him out all the time. That sick-ass Batmobile that he has in the new Batman movie, Alfred helped put that together, but he's really involved. He does have a background with Bruce where he realized, like, there's no way he can change this kid from going down a dark path. So he took it upon himself to look after him, train him. All the talks about why not to kill have stemmed from the fact of how Alfred has helped train his mentality in that direction. Because in like Matt Reeves' version, he wants to have a little bit more of a pathos take on Batman. So honoring that, this version would go down a wildly different path. Bruce Wayne would eventually crack, and he would start becoming a murderer as Batman and start killing off people in his rogues gallery. He's murdering people left and right, and Alfred has found a way where there's no way Alfred can actually take control of this level that Bruce has gone down. So Alfred does the one thing he thought he could never do, which is actually tell the police who Batman really is and that it's Bruce Wayne. Snitches on him. Batman finds out because he's looking outside of his home at the Wayne Manor, drinking alcohol. That's right, Bruce Wayne is an alcoholic in my version. And then he sees the cop cars coming. He sees a news report about how Alfred Pennyworth ratted him out to the police. And then Bruce does the one thing he thought he would never do. He crosses to the ultimate darkest depths, becoming the villain that he always feared he would be by killing Alfred because Alfred ratted him out. And then now it's Batman on the run, truly rogue, truly solo.
Well, and also, like, you know, it's Wayne Manor, right? And all the police are coming in, so he also has like a little mini Waco or something where he like has to take out all the cops.
Yeah, Waco, love it. Yeah, that's great.
Big fans of Waco.
Big Waco fans over here. Yeah.
Yeah. That is hella dark. Yeah, automatically 2 Rogie.
Yeah, we're tied.
In mine, there are no lights at all.
You found my cell phone. Thank you, Philip. Oh my God, I've been looking everywhere for this thing. Thank you so much.
That's a rose gold cell phone. It's precious.
Yeah.
And then what else? What else? It was 2 Rogies.
Yeah. Oh. What do you know?
Perfect.
The one
Now
he
we get to the
snuck off in.
Found a toy.
Only the essentials.
Got it at Office Depot too, actually. So very happy about
It's
this
a
one.
stapler.
Yeah. It has bat-shaped staples that suck. Dude, though, very good, because also I really love the idea that the trauma inflicted upon Batman doesn't make him a vigilante, it breaks him, right? And you actually end up with Dexter,
Yeah.
right? Where it's an older father figure knows that he's got a sociopath on his hands and doesn't want to kill a
Exactly.
child, but is like, the best I can do is give him a creed to live by,
Right.
and it's, fine, you can take people and bring justice, you just can't kill them. You can dangle them off buildings, and if they happen to fall, whatever. But, and then he crosses over, and then having to take each other out. Great job, very exciting. I want it to be that so far.
Yeah.
But Erik, top it. Show them how it's done. You're their mentor.
Good luck, Voss.
All right, fellas, let's do this. I just
He
plugged my
started, by the way,
computer
he started by like, senpai noticed me, and now he's like, bring it!
I'm the Batman in my story. Right?
Everyone's
That's
naked.
what's happening right now.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna go rogue, and I'm going dark. I think the movie's gonna open with Alfred Pennyworth's murder. I think he's gonna be dead in the opening minutes of the movie. So what happened? What happened? So we've seen some like set photos that have come out, right? Some of them are legit. Some of them we don't really know, but we know there is some murder victim whose face has been wrapped up in cellophane with the words "No More Lies" written on it. We also know that a Batman figure, we don't know if it's like the real Batman or a stunt guy or whatever, is visiting a cemetery in the Edinburgh area, and I think he's visiting Alfred's grave. So the murder of Alfred is sent Bruce Wayne into a tailspin because it's re-triggered all the emotional trauma of his own parents' murder, but now he's like reliving that with this other pseudo-father figure to him. He realizes that Alfred was more of a father to him than his parents were throughout his life, so he's lost another dad. So with this death though, is this mystery. Who murdered him, and why was it this like symbolic murder? What does the message "No More Lies" mean? Well, Bruce begins to dig into Alfred's paperwork, and he finds out that Alfred knew a dark political secret about the coming Gotham mayoral election, and that a mayoral candidate, maybe Peter Sarsgaard's character, has an illegitimate son who has gone dark and is now like a serial murderer throughout the city of Gotham, who is killing all these people, and he believes that one of these people was Alfred, and Alfred knew that secret, and he used this son as like a hitman to go against Alfred. So Batman's investigating this crime, and then other people begin to die. The wealthy elite of Gotham begin to die. Oswald Cobblepot dies. It's crazy. There's blood all over this. And while investigating this further, he realizes by the end of it, it's not exactly the conspiracy theory that we thought. The murderer is the son of Alfred, who, as a child, killed someone, got sent to juvie. Alfred disowned him, and he had to detach himself from his son and then reapply all of his paternal affection onto Bruce Wayne and raise him as a son that he could no longer have. Eventually, that son came back to suffocate him and murder him because we realized that the person he killed was Alfred's ex-wife, who he put a bag over her head, wrapped it around her head, and killed her. And now it's come back around to kill Alfred. But that kid had a little brother named Jason Todd Pennyworth. And now Bruce Wayne brings him under his wing.
Jason Pennyworth.
And he held two guns against Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Alfred Hood. All right. Erik, I love it. I just want you to just tag one more thing and just point out for everyone something that you were too subtle about. Who would this kid have more hatred toward in the world than
Bruce Wayne. So that becomes
Exactly.
the battle at the end of it. He killed Alfred in order to get to Bruce Wayne's heart. He realized killing him wouldn't make him feel anything, but killing his father figure would break his heart and make him live with that the way that this murderer had to live without having a father.
Yeah, it's they're surrogate brothers in a way, having to battle it out. Oh, great job. That's 3 roguies for Mr. Erik Voss.
Whoa, 3!
And they can't be Sparklebucks.
Oh, too late. They already are, because now I got a space Sparklebuck and a reality Sparklebuck and a soul Sparklebuck. I only need 2 more. What's going to happen if we get to all 6? I don't know.
I don't know.
We're gonna snap half the views off
great.
this video.
Yeah, great. All right, guys, let's hear these dark tweets. Let's try to summarize our theories in these tweets. Dark tweets, bring them back.
Abusive father. Batman.
Great.
Hashtag Mandalorian.
Yes! No. What's your tweet?
Bruce Wayne, now as an alcoholic, crosses over into the territory that he never thought he would be. The villain. Hashtag Serkis. And well, I don't know why I said hashtag Andy Serkis there.
Yeah. My mind went to
Because it's
big
trending. It's
trending now.
and you
It's
just
trending
wanna show
now. Now that I said it, now it's
it. Yeah.
trending.
Eric, what do you got?
Okay, my tweet is just a very confusing tweet from Matt Reeves that says Alf dead. And then Alf starts trending because everyone thinks he's dead. So Alf has to reply to him and be like, I'm not actually dead. And then he's...
And Denzel's gif starts trending of like, oh, God, I thought something happened to Alf.
yeah.
I think I'm finally getting this tweet game now.
Yeah.
I think I finally got
No,
it.
no, you guys made more sense than Eric. Eric's every week now is starting with sends a really confusing tweet
that is misinterpreted. And then, we have to explain it in a tweet down.
Guys, it's time for Rogue Questions. I know some of these scores are tied, so this could be the tiebreaker. You ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Number 1. Michael Douglas said on Instagram this week that news about Ant-Man 3 might be coming soon before joking that Marvel henchmen were about to dart him. He's so funny. Besides giving away a spoiler, what would make Marvel henchmen dart you?
Stealing Kevin Feige's hat. Because he's just got like a exposed brain under that.
I think Disney would dart me for becoming that guy who just started Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 and is about to tell you how great it is and how much it should have played into the movies, damn it!
Yep. And what do you got?
For reacting to a new Rockstars video and debunking all their theories and then being a little too close to home for Marvel.
You think Marvel's really on our side?
Marvel's definitely on your side.
They're not paying you guys?
I thought they're paying you guys. That's why we agreed to be here today.
Yeah, I thought we were
Nobody's
in the
paying
House of
us
Mouse.
anything. Yeah. If people were paying us, you think we'd be hawking hand sanitizer, which, by the way, bit.ly/NRChill, you can buy some hand sanitizer. Number 2, the New Mutants is supposedly still getting a theatrical release. Sure! Yeah, but
right.
nobody knows when. Pitch me on the updated title that this movie has to be given, because they're not new anymore.
Yeah. New Mutants. Mutant Harder.
The New Mutants. Seriously, though.
My title is like 5 years from now when everyone is homeless and living on the street, and the title is just trying to be relevant to that, and it's called Too Few Tents.
Too few tints.
Too Few Tents.
Number 3, General Mills is releasing a Mandalorian cereal with Baby Yoda-shaped marshmallows. What would Yoda sound like eating Baby Yoda cereal?
Yes.
Not bad.
Tasty we are.
Blah, blah, too much refined sugar I have eaten. Blah, blah, kill me you must. Blah.
Eric gets a Rogie for that one because I like the image of just puppet Baby Yoda and with practical effects.
Oh, got the
Yes!
time one.
Oh, now
Yes.
now we have to know what happens.
It's irresponsible to award him any more Rogies.
Actually, let's find out if it is. What are all our point totals?
I've got 4. I think Eric's got 5.
I've got 4.
I've got 5, Rogie.
Oh, Eric won. Yeah, that makes sense.
So close.
Rigged.
You guys are so
Rigged.
close to having this job.
Gosh.
No reacting to you
Such
anymore.
egos at new Rockstars, man.
Dude, I was ready to give it up. Eric had signed the contract. He was like, whoever dethrones me today
That's right.
gets the job, yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, so that means Eric's our winner. Eric, what's your wish?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I forgot about the wish part. Okay, so what are we talking about?
I will give John my job.
Okay, so we all have to say what we think Boba Fett's final line should have been in Return of the Jedi, other than just a scream as he tumbled into the pit.
Han!
They're called eye drops!
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Give yourself a Rogie.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Rogue Theory. Thank you so much to our guests. Guys, plug yourselves. How can we find you?
On the Real Rejects, a YouTube channel.
And on Patreon.
At Patreon, Real Rejects. The Greg Alba on Instagram and Twitter.
Dat John Humphrey on Instagram and Twitter.
Check them out. These guys are great. If you like our content, you'll like their content because they're huge ripoffs of us.
Yeah!
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we don't do anything like what you guys do, and you guys are great fans. And I'm so glad you guys came on. We'd love to have you on again.
This was seriously an honor.
Eric,
Thank you.
Yes,
Seriously.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
major honest. Yeah.
Eric, anything you want to plug?
Watch a new Rockstars video, and hey, there are some other people who are afraid to put themselves on camera who do this kind of work that for whatever reason during this quarantine you all are flocking to. Why not give some love to the brave nerds who put themselves on camera, try to make jokes and put themselves out there? It's a very vulnerable, difficult thing.
We deserve it.
Yeah. We self-congratulate
Our
ourselves.
mental health is delicate. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much to everybody.
Thank
Do
you.
not forget to subscribe to Rogue Theory podcast feed. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for everything that we're somehow still pumping out. Eric's a big part of that. But thanks to all our supporters on Patreon, too, for making this happen. And, of course, ExpressVPN. Sign up for that thing because it really does help us. Follow Twitter.
Follow Twitter.
They're an up-and-coming brand,
Jack
and they
needs
need
some
it. At New Rockstars. Follow me. It says here, follow me at EA Voss. So go ahead. Yeah. Give him that plug. That's what they do. That's all they do. All right, that's it. Have a good one, guys. Bye.